Welcome to the biggest show in the world, Sports Bettors TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy Thursday. What's going on, man? We're a day away from the weekend. You're listening to your boy, the Mad Hatter from the SBTVNation, sitting here talking to my brother from another mother, the Dream. What's up, kid?
What's going on, man? Listen, I was on the phone with Tom Brady prior to the show, guys, and then something happened to the phone and we lost connection. So I was going to have him on this afternoon because he is going to have some free time.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's going to have a little bit of free time, and we were trying to get him to come on the biggest show, but something happened to his phone. You know what I'm saying? It should be no surprise as we seem to be having phone troubles as of late. What's going on, Playboy?
Oh, son, what's up with these guys, man? I mean, Hernandez did it, he broke his phone. Brady did it, he broke his phone. What did they think?
Listen, I'm going to go there with a box of outer boxes. I'm going to show up at the Patriot training camp with a big box full of outer boxes. You know what I'm saying? Be like, yo, I got y'all all. You know what I mean? I want a Gino, a piece for my outer box. Everybody on the team gets one. I'll put their phones in the outer boxes for them, give it back to them. And I think I figured out how to solve the telephone issue going on in New England.
Hey, guys, you know what? If you're in trouble, if you break your phone, guess what? They can get the information, so it doesn't really matter, man. I don't know. That had me scratching my head a little bit, player.
Yo, Brady and them acted like they went there, with the side piece. and the wife rolls up on him in the whip with the phone, so they just take their phones and throw them out the windows.
The side piece.
And they like, your wife found the phone, son.
Like throwing in a river or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's the commissioner of the NFL that found your phone. It's looking for your phone. You can get away with that with the wife. Be like, oh, man, I don't know what happened to my phone. Just break it.
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely. So, yeah, Robert Kraft you see him on there, your boy?
Oh, I love Big Rob because he just every time Rob talks, it's like a lie after a cover-up.
Oh, definitely, definitely, man. He he came on there, man, saying how upset he is at the NFL for putting his faith in the NFL. He apologized to the New England Patriots fans and blah 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 blah.
Stop.
I don't know, man. 4 games now, dude. Your boy is going to be gone. He's going to be coming back week 6 of the NFL.
On the bright spot, like I told you, your boy Castle was trying out for a buff. So should he get cut, maybe the Patriots could just pick Matt back up because they was real successful when Matt was running in their program, and Matt probably would love to be picked back up because he was real successful when he was running in their program.
Matt Castle, I remember that, man. I remember he was kind of tearing it up for them a little bit.
Right, that's how he made all of his money. And me and a couple of other guys in the nation were going back and forth about Matt Castle. A couple guys thought he was a pretty good quarterback, and I'm like, dude, I don't know. I think Matt Castle, he lived off of his success when Brady went down, and we that the Patriots are always discussing about how they're which brings up a whole nother topic too. And I'm moving around as we're talking about this. It's very interesting, but people in the Peyton Ball versus Brady, contest. And I know as far as the Super Bowls, obviously Brady wins hands down. But, it's always said that the New England Patriots have a system and the system works and, you can implement other pieces into the system in order it works. From Peyton Ball leaving from the Colts and then going to Denver and still being as successful in Denver as he was, in Indianapolis, how do you feel? Do you think that Brady would be as successful if he went to another team?
Very good question.
Peyton has been successful going from the Colts to Denver?
I think so. I think Brady's a hell of a quarterback, man.
Oh, no. I didn't say he was a hell of a quarterback. No, definitely a hell of a quarterback. But when we put them, I happen to lean on the thoughts of, and you guys know I'm biased. I obviously love Peyton Manning, so I am a little bit biased with that. I get it. You don't got to fire back at me. I know. But my thing is, I tend to lean that, as we saw Castle come in and be successful in that system, okay, when Brady left out, we saw Brady step in. Obviously, Bledsoe, when he went down, Brady stepped in, was successful in that system. it makes one wonder just a tad bit, and I'm not taking anything away from Brady's greatness, but just wondering, Brady no longer, because that Peyton Ball, wherever he goes, he's restructuring the whole thing to work. Because, he built that. You understand what I'm saying? The system that they run is his system for the most part. And you supply the pieces, he'll supply, the foundation. My thing is, do you feel that Brady is that same caliber type of quarterback that I could take Brady and go put him with, another team? And I know Denver wasn't exactly any slouch team either, but this Denver Bronco team, when Peyton got there and where they are now, is completely different than they've ever been in the past. It's like the old Colts, when Peyton was there, now in Denver, almost the same type of thing. So you wonder if Brady would be able to transcend another team to what he does in New England. And I don't know if I think that he's that guy to do that.
I don't know, man. That's a really, really good question and analogy, man. So we'll see what happens with that, with Brady coming back during Week 6 of the NFL. I think they got to play at the Indianapolis Colts when he gets back. Okay. So I wonder who's going to step in his place. Who do they got in his place?
Dude, I have no idea. That's a very good question.
Somebody's coming to form, man. We'll see what happens with them, and I wonder what happens to the point spread now that he's going to be out. So
somebody player hating for the sideline, talking about how Brady ain't all that. He's dope. If he could just get his chance, and pow.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
It all comes to fruition.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Guys, it is party time, just like my boy Sin City Maverick has alluded to. I got Snoopy Betts out here. I got Kurt Lauderdale, who's going to be coming on the 10th to break down some golf. I got Buddy the Dog on here. Let's see who else. I got Peter Perez, C. Rodriguez Jr., my man Yodo. What's up? I got Irvin, J. Cass. Let's see who else. Rick Lopez is out there as well. Let's see, the Total Sports Edge, Sergio Rodriguez. Total Sports Edge, holler at me, man. We got to get you back on the show, brother.
I'm already in talks with him.
Oh, good.
I got talks with him going on. We're doing our thing. I got him. I reached out to him yesterday, and like you said, he's always, that's all one of our faithful.
Yes.
OJFB's out there as well. Joseph Del Rosario, Holiday, Marlon, Mario Martinez, Benjamin Rosarat, King Gay. Guys, I ain't gonna beat around the bush. St. Louis Cardinals lost yesterday.
Oh, my God. Shut out two games in a row, dude. And I got news for you, man. Matt Holiday he's got a quad strain now. Son, that's sidelined him for 31 days this season. Same injury he's got, dude. He's a big part of their lineup. And I got to be honest with you. I know I jump around a lot. St. Lucia, man, they just, every time they play, it just seems like their offense is just not all that. I don't know. I know they put it together. I know their defense is amazing, dude. They're one of the best in the major leagues. I get it. But offensively, I have never seen them really make me excited.
Dude, it's for me when I watch, and it's an eye watch for me for the most part, but there's certain teams in this baseball thing that I watched in, and it's like they want to turn, they turn it on and they turn it off. You know what I mean? It's like for example, the Dodgers, St. Louis, the Giants. It's like they lose to a point, and then they say, okay, we need to go win the next 3 or 4. We need to win the next 2 series. And it's like they do it. And St. Louis to me is one of those teams that are guilty of it. It's like they know the season's long. They're not trying to go out and just smoke show the whole season and expand a lot of energy, just beating up on everybody the whole season. It's like one of those things, like I say, it's like the end of the season in the NFL as you're coming down. You kind of know you're in the playoffs. You kind of know you're better than all the other teams. So it's like you go through the motions, and if if you win the game, great. But if you don't, you're not going to sweat it because it's not over or even close to being over. And I just think that there's a few teams guilty of this in baseball, and I think that the Cardinals are one of them.
Yeah, but even when they win, though, it's not that pretty. You feel me? They win a lot of one-score games, a lot of tight games, a lot of stomach aches. You know what I'm saying?
It's baseball, player.
I know. But look at. But
you want to do like the Yankees.
I like blowouts, kid. Because I'm a big run line guy. You know what I'm saying? So
I know you're a big run line guy, but it is baseball, and I know that listen. Baseball, I don't know about blowouts with baseball. That's why I don't do run lines, because to me 2-1 is like your prototypical baseball score, you know.
Yeah.
However, if you're into a couple of extra points and you like a few extra points under your belt, you might want to look at the Houston Astros.
Oh, I know. Oh, definitely, man. Yeah, I was looking at that, and son, I actually took. Dude, don't ask me why I did this. I was looking at it, and I just said, hey, there's no way they lose. So I ended up doing a parlay with the Cubs and Dodgers, right? So the Cubs win their game in a stomach ache, the first side of it, right? So then last night, I get back to the hotel room. I see the Dodgers down 6-3. I'm like, I'm like, damn, man. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't get it right, you know? I wake up, man. They ended up winning the game 10-7, so I ended up hitting that parlay. So I got lucky there, man. I was like in the bottom of the 7th inning or something like that, or bottom of the 8th is when they went ham. So good for you. Hey, it is what it is.
We hit a no-score first inning yesterday earlier in the day. As far as the Dodgers game, I didn't end up even playing that one. As up until that time, I had taken count. Yesterday was no score first inning day, by the way. We had up into the Dodgers, it was I think it was there were 5 of the 14 games played had scores in them, and all the rest of the games had no scores in the first inning. So yesterday was a huge no score first inning game, and then the Dodgers, they actually did get a score in the first inning as well. They gave up one, so it was a pretty good spot to just leave alone.
Son, is it me or is our Twitter like bananas today? It's going crazy,
dude. ESPN for once, because I'm trying to, make sure I'm on point. Because you seem to always hit me with a question that I'm stuck on. Stupid SOS. That always got me SOSing with a. Hey, you have so and so's record.
Hey man, you know what? Really? It is what it is. Definitely. Big ups to everybody that's out here. James Knoll, I got G Rose, Rainmaker 512. What's up, buddy? Good morning to you. He said Jimmy Garoppolo is their backup for the New England Patriots.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember that dude. Yes, gun struggle.
Yes, Eric in Wisconsin, G Rose, JC, hashtag SBTVNation, Tanakis in Vegas girl. What's up? So a couple of other big news, man. Speaking of baseball, as you know, Cole Hamels has gone, dude, listen to this, to the Texas Rangers, kid.
I'm scratching my head.
He's supposed to go to a contender. I don't know if they're a contender.
I could have been a contender.
They feel like they're still in it, man. And I got to be honest with you, man. The way the Twins have been playing, everybody's kind of still in it. If you look at if you look at the standings, bro, dude, and you want to talk about some teams that are scoring some runs, kid? How about the Chicago White Sox putting up a 9 spot again yesterday, man? That's 46 runs in 6 games, brother. Beating the hell out of the Red Sox.
Much the White Sox or is the Red Sox?
I think it's a combo of both.
I mean, that Red Sox team, dude.
I know. Terrible, man.
They can't. They must be. You know what? They're probably disturbed about the whole Brady thing too. So they were like, "Oh, you know what?
Yeah, right. Good morning to Doc. What's up, buddy? He said the Cards just picked up Brandon Moss from the Indians. Stories just broke. Thank you very much for giving us that information. And, Doc, we got to get you on the show, too, man. So hit up the Dream. He's in charge of booking the talent.
Who I haven't reached out to. Obviously, we've been trying to get, just go a little bit with the Direction Gang. If you guys been listening, the last couple of months we've really been about bringing on guys that have supported the show, guys who are up in the morning, and not that we don't care about the people who are not on in the morning, but guys who get up in the morning and they're on live with us and they retweet the show and they're very helpful. They get us all started and get us going. So we wanted to reach kind of give back a little bit, have them on to kick it with them, because it's one big family we're trying to have, one big community here that we want to have, and we want to give everybody an opportunity, that we can, an opportunity, and that wants to come on, to say a couple of things. We've had some guys who obviously are cappers, some guys who obviously are gamblers, some guys who just, we're just going to kick it with, you know what I mean, and not really, not really talk about anything relative. And the other thing is, as we're getting closer to football, some of the guys who are more embedded in football, which is like, 99.9%, I'm going to have you guys on closer to the end of August beginning of September. Because some of you, I haven't reached out to you. It's not because I don't want to talk to you or because I don't want you on. It's because I know you don't really want to come on until football anyway, so I'm not even going to bother you because I know you don't got no feeling for the baseball.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So, we're looking forward to got a little something up my sleeve for the weekend shows, guys. So just stay tuned for that. We will have that conversation very shortly. So the Mets were trying to get Carlos Gomez from the Milwaukee Brewers, kid. And what happened was that was like the big story yesterday, and the deal fell apart, man. I guess Carlos Gomez is represented by the ultimate sports agent, Scott Boras. He's got some health concerns, man. They're feeling like he's got some problems with his hip. So the Mets are not bringing him in. They're not bringing him in. So it was crazy, man, because one of the players for the Mets was actually in tears on the field yesterday, thinking he was going to be traded, and deal ended up falling apart, man. Unbelievable.
Dude,
huh?
How you in tears?
So it's emotional, man. Maybe he's got, just bought a crib over in New York or something like that. You know what I mean? So, hey.
Dude, let me tell you when you're in tears. When you got my money. That's when when you playing baseball for a living, you know what I'm saying, to the tune of $500,000 a year, even if you at league minimum, there's nothing to be crying about. All right? You come over here and make your empire work with the pennies that I got. That's something for you to sit down and cry. I don't know how I don't be in tears sometimes at night.
Oh,
be
man.
like, yo, why you crying? Be like, oh, man, the electric bill just came in.
Definitely.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, definitely, man. So we got that going on. The Tigers finally have decided to put Price Cespedes and Joakim Soria on the market, man. So they only got a day left.
I was just getting ready.
They only got a day left, player. Come on.
Talk about hitting the mall the day before on Christmas Eve.
Hitting the mall on Christmas Eve. Wow. Yeah, that's right there, man. You're right. So I don't know, man. I know the Dodgers just picked up pitcher Matt Latos and Michael Morse from Miami Marlins, so that's a pretty good pickup for them. But I thought they'd make a little bit bigger of a move than that,
Who else is on that? You said Price is on it. Who else do they got?
Price, Cespedes, and their closer Soria.
Oh, Cespedes. Maybe the Oak Tree should go try to get Cespedes back.
Yeah, right. Now the New York Mets.
The
New York Mets need a bat. New York Mets need a bat desperately, so we'll see what happens with that. And how about Troy Tulowitzki, man, coming into Toronto and layeth the smacketh down, man. He went, 3 for 5, a home run and 2 doubles with 3 RBIs, kid.
Hey, guess it's not the air.
I guess team management is going to be cashing those team total overs, man. Think they did the right. They made the right decision there as far as that's concerned. What's up, Marlon? How you doing, buddy? So he said it's not emotional. Tell him to man up. Unbelievable. The guy that was in tears over there in the
no doubt. That's what I'm saying. I'm with you, playing. Listen, there's no feeling bad. I obviously don't want anything bad to happen to anybody in life, but these professional athletes, I struggle with feeling bad for some of their situations that they're going to want you to feel. Dude, I got to move from my mansion in New York to a mansion in Florida. I'm like, all right, dude, I really feel for you.
That is a pain in the ass, though, man.
Nah, I know it's a pain in the ass. No, I get it. I've been moving and dude.
Son,
I talk about how I want to move to Florida and somewhere out of here, and then I look around my crib and think about how I'm going to get all this stuff out of here, and it's going to be like one of those situations where I'm going to just sell the person when I sell the crib. Okay, everything in it is coming with it.
Yeah. Yo, who do you got? I forgot to ask you, who's calling today?
Oh, Vin Vegas is coming on today.
Perfect. Let me see if I got him on the line here. Hold on 1 second. Moving a little slow, dude. I apologize. You still there?
I am still here.
All right. I don't see him on here, so let me just try to get him back on in a minute, guys. So I apologize about that. Vinny, if you're listening, man, just give us another call and we will have that conversation. Because,
dude, we were talking the other day about my man Charlie Strong, who's the head coach at Texas out there, and I went and did a little bit of looking, as I'm obviously excited like everybody else about the upcoming football season. And I'm expecting Charlie to get some things done. I really think he's going to have a good year with this team. I think he's going to get through to them, and I'm kind of expecting him to be successful this year, man. I think I like the package that he's about to put out on the field, and we're going to have to keep our eye on Texas this year.
Yeah, definitely, man. There's a lot of college football stuff that I've been seeing that's just got my juices going crazy, man. I was looking at they had the USC coach with the UCLA coach on there. I was sitting there just kind of listening to some of their stuff going back and forth. I was like, oh, man, it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice this year. So, I mean, you're big on betting the NFL and the college football. Last year you were. What'd you think of the college football, man?
Yeah, I was. Well, first of all, my college football was not good last year. There's no beating around the bush here. I always keep it real. The thing that saves me, and I tell a lot of people, and you guys should know this already, is I'm a spot bettor. I tend to tread water with games that I have a feeling on, but I'm not real certain on. So you're talking about, games that, I'll play a couple, 100 here, 100 there, 100 here, 100 there. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, I'm going to hit one for, I try to pound one that I'm pretty sure about. And then that way it makes up for the losses and then gives me a little bit more, more room to go here and there. But last year was very up and down with college. I spent a lot of time making up the money on Sunday.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys do that, and I hate that. You hate going into Sunday down.
Yeah, right, exactly. You want to go into it with a fat bankroll.
You want to go into it with a fat bankroll, where you're up. And, I spent a lot of time on Saturday, which is another good reason about being online, by the way, as opposed to dealing with a bookie, because, geez, you remember them days.
Oh,
waking up Sunday morning down a Gino right out the gate because Hawaii played you when you went to bed, and now you up Monday morning at the crack of dawn trying to figure out how you going to get out of this mess.
Oh, definitely, man, definitely. Dude, my college football was pretty good, though. I loved college football.
I got to give it to you. You were pretty good. You did very well. I think you did a lot better in the bowl season.
Oh, the bowl season. Yeah, I killed it in the bowl season.
Did a lot better than have done in years. Dude, we've gotten killed in years past in the bowl. You did a lot better this year in the bowls. I'm real happy this year, honestly. I'm very happy that I got the nation and we test drove. As far as I'm concerned, it was a test driving experience last year with college football. I got some guys that I really like college football that I am really going to lean on. I expect this year to be the most successful year of my life in college football.
Absolutely, man. And while we're waiting for Vin Vegas to call, dude, we have 2 baseball games during the day, Dream. So I think we should get those out of the way.
Okay.
And then, we'll have the conversation with him about the NFL because, guys, my man Vin Vegas, all he does, he lives, breathes, and eats the NFL all year long. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he's got to say, man. A lot of people love his information. He's calling out from Vegas as well. So we got the San Diego Padres coming into the New York Mets. This is a 12:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start, guys. So make sure that you're aware of that when you are gambling. And San Diego has Andrew Kashner. The New York Mets have Jonathan Neese. New York Mets minus 120 with an under-over of 7 runs. I'm going to see if I can punch him in right now. Son, I'm having an issue getting him in.
Oh.
I don't know what's going on, but we'll see what happens with that. But what you got for the New York Mets favorite today, who got pounded yesterday, by the way?
Neese is on the mound. He's 5-9 with a 3.75 ERA. The Mets are 35-17 at home. The Padres 24-28 on the road. Kashner is 4-10 with a 3.93 ERA.
All right, so taking a look at this game. Hey, you know what? Send him a DM, man. See if he could call from a different number. Because for some reason, I cannot add him into this phone call. I don't know what's going on. But you take a look at the San Diego Padres, who've had a really disappointing year, guys. They're 5 games under 500. I know they're trying to turn the season around a little bit. I don't really know if they are in buying or selling mode at this point. I haven't really heard much about them. But when you look at the New York Mets, they are superior in most statistical categories that I'm looking at on my sheet. However, like I said, the San Diego Padres did pound them yesterday. And when you look at this game, there's a couple of trends that are of note that are probably pretty interesting that would point to an under in this series. last 11 of their games on the road as well. And you know damn well that the New York Mets are I don't know if you know this, but the New York Mets are dead last in MLB in offense and scoring runs. Did you know they're number 30?
I didn't notice, but I would assume that, though.
Number 30 in the league offensively, man. Now, Jonathan Neese has been okay. I mean, you know, you got a 3.75 ERA there. Cashner, just over 4. But, these teams offensively, man, just don't do it for anybody, man. When you got a total here of 7, when you got two pitchers with ERAs like that and you got a total of 7, they're not really giving much credibility to the offenses. I'd like to maybe see that in a 7.5 and maybe possibly take a shot with an under. But what do you got there, Dream?
For one more time, I'm sorry.
Dude, I can't get him punched in, man.
I know. I'm back and forth with him now.
That sucks.
Go ahead.
All right. Anyway, let's take a look at this. So what I was asking is, what's your thoughts on an under in this game? With these two respective teams.
I'm not.
You don't like this game, right?
No.
All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hang up on you real quick, try to get him in, and then you can call me back, all right? Do I got Vin Vegas on the line?
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
How you guys doing?
We're good. We had a hard time getting you in. And, on a conference call. So now I'm going to have the Dream call back and see if I could add him into the call. So this way we can get both of us on the line.
Oh, right on, brother. I got you.
Oh, dude, man. Long time no talk, Playboy.
I know it's a long off season, brother. I was listening to you guys on live. I didn't want to interrupt the baseball. I know it's baseball season. You guys are doing your thing. So, I was waiting a little bit. And then, of course, we have the connection problems there. But, ready to rock as soon as Dream gets on there.
Yeah, definitely, man. We got one more baseball game that's during the day that I want to get out of the way before we jump right into the pigskin, kid. So,
sure.
Guys, listen, you don't touch the baseball, obviously.
No, but go ahead, do your thing.
All right. So I'll take over the reins on this while I'm waiting for my boy, the Dream, to come back. So we got the Washington Nasties coming into the Miami Marlins, and Washington has their ace, Mr. Matt Scherzer, on the mound. Max Scherzer. Miami has Dan Herron. Washington, guys, minus 190 juice today, with an under-over of 6.5, playing inside Miami's house. Miami's been pretty good at home, guys, so just be careful of this game laying all that money. Maybe a -1 or something like that will get that down. But Scherzer is 10-8 with a 2.33 ERA, so he's not really getting the run support as low as his ERA is. He should have a way better record than that. Dan Herron is 7-6 with a 3.51 ERA. Taking a look at this as far as the totals are concerned, totals have gone over in 4 of the last 6 Washington games, but under in 5 of the last 6 Miami games, which is really interesting to me. Miami's 1-4 in their last 5 games. Washington 2-4 in their last 6. Washington coming off the victory last night. Let me see if I could get him in now. Yo. Nope. Oh, damn. I can't do the group call for some reason.
It's one or the other?
It's one or the other, man. Damn. That's too bad.
Man, too bad. I heard him talking some football earlier in the show, and definitely wanted to, talk about a little bit what he was talking about.
Yeah, but, definitely, man. Real quick, I'll just finish this up. Miami's 7-2 in their last 9 games at home, guys. So that's something to keep in the back of your brains when you're betting as well. It's a tough game. Scherzer should get it done. But being on the road in Miami, these two teams know each other pretty well. I think that it's a tough matchup, man. It's something that I don't think that I would lay that kind of juice with, I'll be honest with you. So, Vin Vegas, let's talk some NFL, my man, while we're waiting for the Dream. I'm going to do the best I can to get him in. If I can't get him in, then you and I are going to have to kick it for a little bit, and then when you are done, I'll bring him back on. So that's how we'll have to do it, man. So what you got for us, man?
Well, right now, I'm only looking at season totals as of yet. Of course, that line 1, week 1, line's already up.
Yep.
The LVH and all the books pretty much got it across town. A lot of online books has it as well. Now, I have some early leans on those, but of course, until the preseason plays out and all the suspensions and injuries are out of the way, we can get a clear view of who is actually going to be on the roster in week 1.
I'll be able to play those games. As of now, for season totals, I think there's some pretty good value out there. Starting with the Arizona Cardinals. You know, they got them at 8.5. They actually got bet up. The total is -115 for the over. I'm liking under in this play. You know, it's you're getting a little -105, so you're not actually getting juiced, but you're barely giving any away. They lost just about everybody on that defense in the offseason besides Campbell. Peterson's still there. Outside of that, you got the Honey Badger. You have no playmakers, really. It's a whole new front seven. It's they lost the defensive coordinator, went to the New York Jets. I don't see him repeating that kind of success. And what I love about taking unders is if you saw the quarterback play in Arizona last year, you know Carson Palmer is one hit away from cashing that ticket. Because I don't see him getting into that hot streak they got into at the beginning of the season because they don't have that same schedule. And it's actually a brutal schedule down the stretch. So I don't know if you've already been looking at totals. Have you checked that one out?
No, not yet, man. I haven't even really started looking at the NFL lines yet. I've got to get involved in it, though, man, because I'm pretty excited to see some of these lines move around.
Right, and then, some have already. For instance, I'll give you one that moved drastically. The San Francisco 49ers open at 7.5, and the books are just begging you to take this one. They're at it's open at 8.5. They're now at 7.5 and -230 for the under. So, the sports books are basically telling they don't think they're going 500 this year. They had 4 guys retire.
Wow.
2 of them unexpectedly early. One being all-world middle linebacker Peterson. They just don't look the same. They lost guys in free agency, lost the head coach. It's a really unknown commodity they raised in the ranks to the head coach this year. He was an assistant coach with the team last year. They already started the nosedive last year, but there's no value in there. I don't think they go 8 games, but they priced me out at -230.
-230, that's pretty steep for that, man.
Yeah, that's steep, but, the books, they're just begging you to take it. If you want to take the over, you're almost getting a +200 for the San Francisco to win 8 games. They're begging you to take the over. They need the action on the other side. But, one team I really like this year, and it's kind of flying under the radar, they lost a couple pieces in the offseason, but no crucial, is the Baltimore Ravens. Now this team took New England Patriots to the brink.
Yep.
And, the playoff games, they were up by 14 twice in that game.
I know.
The only team that's actually gone into New England and beat them in New England in the playoffs, and they actually almost beat them 2 other times where they took them down with the wire, including last year. Now, Baltimore is pretty much the same team that there was last year as far as starters are concerned.
Okay.
Lost a little bit of depth, but this team is very well put together. Ozzie Newsome always does a great job putting his roster together. I like the draft. Their total is at 9 wins, -130, which is not too much juice. I'm willing to take that. What I love about this bet is at 9 games, you get your money back. So if they go 9-7, it's a push, nothing happened. But I like this team winning 10 games. I like them winning the division, and I like them making a playoff run. And I think you're getting incredible value even as a Super Bowl play. They're 20-1, and you really can't say that about too many teams that were in the second round of the playoffs last year.
Right.
So, there's a slippage in value there for Baltimore, and I think they're a nice little play there if you like bet the overs. Of course, Seattle, once again, they're at 11 games, -125 for the total. I think they blow the doors off that total.
Wow.
I'm liking to win 13 games, maybe even go 14-2. This team is stacked. They got everybody returning from that core except their, cornerback that Maxwell, which I almost forgot his name. That's how irrelevant he is. Definitely the least best player of the Legion of Boom. So they are right back in it. They got the core defense. They got the core offense. They added Jimmy Graham, which, after that Pete Carroll play call where he got cute at the 1-yard line and his receiver got bumped off the ball, they went for a big target they could throw to reliably that wouldn't get knocked off the ball. That comes in Jimmy Graham, all-world tight end, probably the second best to Gronk for years now. And I like that move. I like what it does for the offense. Everybody's back. 11 wins seems ho-hum to them. And if they hit the 11, once again, you get a push. So, 12 games wins it there. I know Dream was talking about the Houston Texans earlier. And
Yeah.
I wanted to piggyback off that. Too bad he's not on the air because I like him too. You know, if you're a gambler and you don't mind betting on some pretty sketchy quarterback play, that's your team. Because
right,
I mean,
right.
look at that. You look at the quarterback. It is scary because it's either Brian Hoyer or Ryan Mallett as your quarterback. That's where it gets scary. But J.J. Watt, I mean, this guy is a beast. That is probably the best defensive player I have seen since, let's say, Reggie White.
Sure.
And then they added Will Ford. I like the secondary. They had a nice little draft. They got Johnson in there, and they got Moore, Jackson, and Joseph in that secondary. This team could really make some strides. They already had last year from that 2-14 debacle 2 years ago. But I can see this continually going in the right direction. Tell Dream that I'm with them. The total's 8.5, so they do have to win 9. Like I said, you are gambling a little bit because of the quarterback play. But, yeah, man, I wanted to tell Dream I was with him there. And you know, one of the unders I'm really looking at is the Washington Redskins.
Oh
man.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, they should change their name. I'm just going to go out there and say that.
Yeah, right. Right.
And then second of all, this team is awful. Now, they did get McCollum, who was the general manager. He was in Green Bay and in Seattle, and he built 2 winners there. And the most important thing about them signing him is he got full autonomy of the team. He makes all the personnel decisions, so Dan Snyder won't be getting in the way because that guy has been awful. You know, what he's done with this roster and with his team, maybe the most hated, you know, I don't know if you can call him general manager anymore, but owner in the NFL. Still, even with McCollum coming in, it's just too much of a workload to completely change the roster around. He upgraded the defensive line, has 3 new starters on there, but the secondary, he still has all kinds of issues. They did grab Culliver over from San Francisco, which will help, but they have to win 7 games to beat you because the total is at 6, and the under's even money, and I'm loving that. I think Washington will be, again, as they were last year, one of the worst outfits in the NFL. I think if they win 5 games, they'll be making strides from where they were last year. They started out decent, but they had a landslide down the stretch, and as good as McCollum is, I think it's going to be a couple-year project before he turns this completely around. We'll see if he's still there, you know, in a few years because Snyder's tough to handle. But besides that, the one other total I was really looking at is the Chicago Bears. I'm almost feeling priced out at -150 though. The total is 7. Once again, it's another rebuilding outfit. They changed a lot of pieces. They actually made some good moves in the offseason, but is it enough? You know, the same thing, that defense was Swiss cheese last year. I mean, it was whoever wanted to have a good week, you play the Chicago Bears, and you just have, you know, the run of your life against this team. This team couldn't get pressure on the quarterback. They couldn't stop the run, and they were bad in pass coverage. That's a bad recipe in the NFL.
Sure.
You're
sure,
not going to win many games with that kind of
especially
defense.
with Jay Cuddles at the helm. You know what I mean? With that smug look on his face. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, they're tough. They're tough.
I feel you. And you know the thing with Cutler is too. You know, a little bit to his defense, he is the kind of player that is not going to pad stats. So say you're down, you know, 2 scores and defense doesn't look like they're going to wake up anytime soon, he's going to make those very low percentage plays to try to get his team back in it, try to win. They wind up being turnovers, and but he's not going to sit there and pad his stats and dink and dunk, and you know that's just his style. He's going to go for it, you know. And if he needs to win, if he needs points, he's going to go for points. But at the same time, that's also his undoing. He winds up throwing a lot of turnovers, you know, and actually he led the league in turnovers, 24 total, 18 interceptions. So I agree with you. That's also another issue there in Chicago. Those are the totals I'm loving, though, this you know, year. Yeah, I wish like Dream was on here because I know we always go back and forth.
Oh,
and,
definitely. I know. I don't. You know what? I haven't had this problem yet as far as you know, adding people to the call. But hey, you know what? The next time, I'm sure it'll work out when you know, when we get you on. So it's all good, player.
Yeah, and you know, and he was on a little Twitter battle last. I believe it was yesterday about the you know, with New England and what's going on with the Brady situation, and I guess some of the his Twitter followers were saying to go ahead and bet against New England. the first few games, and he was bringing in Castle, and how he did. I just wanted to make a point that they did downgrade significantly with Castle when he went in there. Now, granted, you look at the record; they were 11-5 that season, but they were coming off the heels of a 16-0 regular season the year before. And, they lost in the Super Bowl to the Giants, but that team could have possibly been one of the best teams in NFL history. They were by point differentials in the regular season, as far as the numbers are concerned. That was one of the best teams in NFL history. They missed the playoffs with Castle. Granted, it was 11-5, but it's not a coincidence that the 1 year that Brady isn't there is the 1 year they missed the playoffs since 2002. So, I mean, there is, as much as a system guy as Brady is played out to be, he is, like you were saying, I agree, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I do think that if he went somewhere else, he would have that kind of success. I don't believe he's just a system guy. And I think that, it will make a difference in these 4 games. Luckily for them, they played Jacksonville in one of the games. And they, like you were saying, that Pittsburgh defense, I think even Jimmy Garoppolo could have some success against that team on defensive end. Now, can New England handle Ben Roethlisberger in that lethal passing attack? I don't know. They lost Darrelle Revis. They lost Brandon Browner. I don't think that they replaced them very, sufficiently. They, Butler, who made the, play of the career in the Super Bowl, in the last play of the Super Bowl, he's going to be stepping in either at the slot or Darrelle Revis position. But one play, you can't just step in and play for Darrelle Revis after one play. That doesn't make a career. So we'll see, what they bring to the table as far as their cornerbacks go, but they look pretty average to marginal there, and I think the Steelers could take advantage. If I was going to play that game, I'm looking at the over and hoping that I can see something from, Jimmy Garoppolo in the preseason that makes me feel like he can put up some points. But, I guess, like I said, it's the Steelers defense, and they're lacking a lot there. I'm also leaning towards Green Bay in Week 1 because Aaron Rodgers owns the Chicago Bears. I mean, he just owns. If you got Aaron Rodgers playing the Bears, I take it every day. The one time that he's lost recently to them was the game that he got knocked out and broke his collarbone in that game, and actually Chicago was able to win that. Besides that, it's a who's your daddy scenario. He owns.
I know. He definitely owns them, dude. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I like the Bills. I think they're going to have a strong season this year, and I have a lot of Bills followers, and I'm always real about it. So I haven't been nice to them in the off season coming into this year, but I've liked what they've done. I like Rex Ryan there. I think is a good fit. I like McCoy going over there. I'm not crazy about Percy Harvin as a person, but as an athlete, the guy's phenomenal. Once again, they got Matt Castle, they got E.J. Manuel, they got Tyrone Taylor. We'll see what the quarterback spot is, but if you're feeling like you want to gamble, that's a nice team to take the over. It's set at 8. 8's a push. I think 9 could get it there. The price isn't too bad. It's 125. You'll lay in the juice, and they're getting a couple points Week 1 at home against Indianapolis, which it is risky bet against Andrew Luck, especially in the opener there. But I'm going to go ahead and grab the 2 points as of now. Like I said, I'll wait to make the final decisions to see who's healthy and who's not suspended. And then Seattle's at St. Louis, and talk about it's 3.5 points. Now, that's what I call a principal bet. Seattle is so much better than St. Louis. I don't care that it's a 10 a.m. start, semi-East Coast game. It's, on the road. You got to take that in principle. The talent disparity is, you can't even compare the same two teams. Now, St. Louis actually beat Seattle in St. Louis last year. It took 2 special teams touchdowns to do it. One of them was a trick play, but they came out and beat them anyways. I give them the credit for that. I don't see Lightning striking twice in one place. I like Seattle there. And then, you know what? I'm going to go ahead, like I was talking about San Francisco and how they're plummeting. The books know it. They're laying 3 points, 2.5, and Monday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings. I like where this Viking team is going. I like Teddy Bridgewater. I like some of the pieces they have on defense. I like the draft they had. I like Zimmer as the head coach and, the turnaround that he had. They went from like the 27th defense to a top 10 defense in one season when he left the Bengals, and the Bengals went in the opposite direction. So I like that Minnesota Vikings. I'll take the points on Monday Night Football opening up the stadium there in San Francisco. I think that that's looking good, and I'm looking forward to Week 1. I know it's a ways away, but you got to stay ready.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. I have a question for you, dude. I read that Seattle's defense is a little banged up. What do you know about that?
Well, they are coming into the season. Earl Thomas is they should be ready by the beginning of camp. Now, Cam Chancellor is saying he's more unhappy than banged up. He's saying that he might hold out. Clemens might hold out, and that's two of their starters. They want to get paid, understandably.
Sure.
You go to 2 Super Bowls in a row. I get it. And but Chandler just signed a contract 2 years ago. He might have even outperformed it, but they are not as bad as they were going into that New England game, which they were pretty banged up in that game. They're getting healthier now. Earl Thomas, he's going to be questionable for Week 1. They're going to pretty much miss training camp, and they're going to take it easy on him. But besides that, it's really only training camp and preseason injuries. Besides Earl Thomas, nobody's really expected to miss any time heading into the season.
Got
so
it.
as long as there's no setbacks, I think that Seattle will be okay. And they do look like the sharpest team on my power ratings anyways going into the season. But that's because the nucleus is there. They got most of their team. Did lose some depth, of course. That's what happens when you win Super Bowls and appear in other Super Bowls.
Yep.
They did lose some depth, but I think they'll be right there, my man. They'll be another strong team.
Cool deal, man. So why don't you recap your team totals, man? Because, dude, your information is off the charts, kid. I got to be honest with you.
Appreciate it.
No problem, man. Always, dude. That's why you're
I
here,
got
man.
issues. This is all I do year-round, man. I'm studying football year-round.
Yes.
So it's like the totals, I'm priced out of 2 totals. I'm priced out of the under on the San Francisco because 230 is too much juice. And the under on the Bears is pretty borderline. They actually made some moves enough where I don't want to lay the 150. I don't think they win 8 games. But the 150 is a little pricey for me. So the plays I really like, I love Arizona under 8.5, minus 105. The Cardinals is one of my favorite plays. I love that play right there, especially if Palmer goes down, jackpot. You won that one. Now, the reason I don't like taking overs necessarily is for that same reason. For instance, I do like the over Baltimore. It's set at 9 games, so 9 would be a push. Minus 130 for the over. I like it. If Flacco goes down, of course, I'm in trouble. Your chances do drop significantly if you lose your starting quarterback. Why I don't always love that numbers, but he's stayed relatively healthy throughout his career. Great offensive line. They do have a rookie tight end, a rookie receiver, but the pieces that are there on defense, they only lost a little depth, and I love this team from top to bottom. They don't have too many weak spots, and I do believe that 9 wins is very, very doable for them, and I like them winning 11 at least. So I'm all over that. I love the Redskins under. It's even money at 6. They have to win 7 games to beat you, and I don't see that at all. I think a 5-win season with this roster is actually an accomplishment, and McCollum may be able to get it there. He may be able to turn this franchise around as a general manager, but it's going to be a couple years. This team is still very bad, especially in the back end. Besides Kerrigan, their linebackers are pretty awful. Their secondary is one of the worst in the NFL, and they're not very good at stopping the run either. They try to add a couple pieces, but it's not enough. I love the under there, even money, under 6. 6 is a push. Obviously they have to get to 7 for you to lose. Seattle over 11. I mean, minus 125. The books might get eat up with this eventually because Seattle is starting to become a public favorite, year in and year out. But I'll take the value. Minus 125, 11 games. The division is falling apart. Arizona, I believe, is taking a big step back this year. San Francisco is obviously taking a step back. And St. Louis, at best, is mediocre. I think Fisher does more with that talent than most other coaches would be able to do. But, at the end of the day, they're at best mediocre, and if they come out a little flat, they're going to be a bad team. And then I was agreeing with the boy Dream there with the over on the Houston Texans, 8.5. Shop around. You can probably get it at 8 at some spots.
Nice.
I'm looking at 8.5 here, minus 110. But like I said, that is a gamble because you got Hoyer or Mallett. Who knows who's going to win the starting job? But the team around those players is really good, and that's what I'm looking at. I think they win, 9 games even with that quarterback play, and in the same style right there is Buffalo Bills. I like that over, and one of the reasons I like those 2 overs too is because I'm not too worried about the quarterback going down. Hell, that might even help in that scenario,
yeah, because
right? Unlike Flacco going down, it actually might help if one of those. But the Bills are so stacked on defense. That defense, when my ratings, is only second to the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, they're stacked at linebacker. The defensive line may be one of the best in the league, and they have a very talented secondary. I like McCoy in the running game coming in. I like what they've done with the offensive line. I think Rex Ryan, this is his kind of team. I mean, it'd be nice to see Rex play with a quarterback, but we know he can win in the past with a game manager, especially if he has a talented running game and a good defense. And that's what he's got in Buffalo. I see good things for Buffalo. They went 9-7 last year. I see that trend continuing. But those are the plays that I've narrowed down. I've played some of those totals already, and I haven't played any of the Super Bowl props. Besides, I got a little action on Baltimore just because I got them at 20-1.
Sure.
And I thought that was pretty good value.
Oh, that's great, man. That's great. So, guys, this is my man Vin Vegas, all the way from Las Vegas, breaking down the NFL as he does best all year long. Bro, you got my juices flowing, man. I'm getting ready for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll go back and forth. Why don't you tell everybody where to find you and what you're all about, and we will go from there.
Okay, well, you can find me at Vin_Vegas. That's at Vin Vegas. And on Twitter, and of course we got our site that's about to launch right during the preseason here, and it's at ProFootballScience.com. We gave away some free picks all year last year, and it was actually not my best year, so I'm looking for a big bounce back here. Finished strong, but started slow, so came out average. And I actually would have done all right if Pete Carroll doesn't get cute at the goal line. I had a good Super Bowl. Came on your show last year, and most of my props hit.
Yeah, right. So, you did.
Yeah, so we had a good one there. We loaded up on Brady over attempts, and that came in the third quarter, beginning of the third quarter, that we cashed that ticket.
Yeah,
so that was nice. But what we really nailed it on was the totals on the player tackles. We're set way too high for every player. For some reason, they thought all the prop bettors just bet the over. So if you bet all those unders like I recommended, you only lost 2 and won 10. So we had a nice prop, but it's all about the next season, in football. And this is the time of year that every fan is excited, every team is excited, everybody feels like they have a chance in this parity league, and every bettor's excited too. If you had an off season, you're excited to bounce back this year.
Sure,
you go back to the drawing board, figure it out, and you're ready to go.
All right.
But let me give a shout out to my boy Pete Gladys, my boy Travis Drake, which some of my fellow handicappers. ProFootballScience.com will be up soon. You can catch me at Vin Vegas. That's Vin_Vegas at Twitter. And, of course, I'll be following you guys all year long, especially when football starts. I love your show.
Thank you.
I love to get back on before the season starts, especially with Drain, so we can go back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Well, we got to figure out how to get a conference call in with the two of you. So we might have to actually come on before the show and make that thing happen and test it out. You know what I mean?
Well, for sure, and I'll bring a burner like Tom Brady next time. So, in case this phone's not working.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Vin, thank you so much for calling, man. I always appreciate you.
My man, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Take care. Take care. All right, guys. So what we're going to do right now is here's how I'm going to do this. All right. So the Dream is gone. We tried to get him on during the show with Vin Vegas. For some reason, we could not conference the both of them in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the MLB real quick with your boy, with yours truly, the Mad Hatter. But I'm going to read through a couple of things here. My boy Marlon is telling me that Andrew Kashner is 0-2 with a 5.10 ERA in his last 5 starts. He is pitching versus the Mets today. And my boy Doc is telling me that Kashner is 4-12 in the first 5 innings. He calls him #Trashner. So take a look at that as far as the San Diego and New York Mets matchup is concerned. You know what? I see these teams both with abysmal bats. That total being 7, though, I wish I can get the 7.5, man. I mean, if I can buy that up, that might be a conversation that we can have, but I don't know if I want to push it, guys, so I'm going to keep it moving from there. I'm basically going to go through the matchups here, and if I see something I like, I will stop and we will chat about that game real quick because we're already at the 10 o'clock hour, man. So big ups to, let's see who else is on Twitter here. I got REL Inc. I've got Clown Man Swag. I got Jeff Ryan. I got Tony Mans and my boy Tommy King. TK Wins. What's up, kid? How you doing, brother? Thank you very much for all your support and everything you do for the biggest show in the world. So looking at Detroit playing Baltimore today at 7:05. Detroit, Alfredo Simon. Baltimore has got Miguel Gonzalez on the bump. Baltimore minus 160 with an under-over of 9. Seems like Baltimore's trying to turn the season around a little bit in hunt for the AL wild card. Detroit has been falling off, but you know what? You know damn well that at some point Detroit's going to sneak a game here and there. So, I mean, making, doing their, being sellers now, I don't know what their psyche is going to be as far as the team is concerned because, with all them unknowns, I just don't like the game. So I'm going to keep it moving to Atlanta and Philadelphia. Atlanta with Shelby Miller, Philadelphia, Aaron Harang. Don't have a line here yet, but my boy Harang has been really bad as of late, guys, so I don't know if we could mess with that game there. Kansas City's coming into Toronto. This should be a hell of a matchup, hell of an offensive matchup, but the total's only 6.5, surprising. K-Sizzle, Danny Duffy. Toronto has Marco Estrada. Toronto minus 140 with an under-over of 6.5 runs. Taking a look at that total, Danny Duffy's got a 4.03 ERA with a 4-4 record. Estrada with a 3.52 record. 3.52 ERA with a 6-5 record. Toronto's number one in the league as far as offense, man. 5.27 runs a game. Bringing Tulo in the lineup. That under-overs got me scratching my head to death, man. At 6.5. One big inning, you're going over. That might be something to take a look at, guys. But there's a reason for it. Anytime I see that the lines are off, sometimes it tends to go the way that you don't think it's going to go. So keep that in the back of your brain. So if that holds the form, you might see an under, believe it or not, in that game. She got Chicago at Boston. Chicago has my boy Chris Sale on the mound with a minus 175 juice with an under-over of 8. Boston plus 155. Boston have Stephen Wright on the mound. The way the White Sox have been playing and hitting the ball, man, 3.68 runs a game throughout the year. But as of late, man, 46 runs in 6 games. So keep that in the back of your brains. Chris Sale, 9-5 with a 2.85 ERA. Stephen Wright, 1-4 with a 5.01. I don't know how you don't back the White Sox here with their offense the way it's been going. Plus Stephen Wright on the mound with an over 5 ERA. Kind of feeling the White Sox here. I may do them with a -1 to get that juice down to even money. I think that might be what I do at 7-10 start. I got to look at it further, look at the rosters, and see what's going on over there in Boston. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati today. Pittsburgh, A.J. Burnett. Cincinnati, David Holmberg. No line on that game yet, but check out sportsbetterstv.com. You'll see all the lines there. Colorado at St. Lucia. St. Lucia blanked 2 days in a row. Shut out by the Cincinnati Reds. So Colorado's coming to town, and Colorado has Chris Russin. St. Lucia has Carlos Martinez. St. Lucia minus 240 juice. Damn. With an under-over of 7.5. This Martinez guy's been very, very good, man. 11-3 record with a 2.36 ERA. Chris Russin has not been good, but he pitches in Coors Field. He's got an over 5 ERA with a 2.4 record. St. Lucia probably gets the job done here, guys. So I don't -1 if you can get that on your book. If you can't get the -1 on your book, what you could do is you could bet 66% of your bet on the money line and 33% of your bet on the run line. So that would actually equivalent to a -1 run. If you want me to explain that a little further, hit me up on Twitter and I can explain that to you a little bit further. But that's the way the math goes. You got the New York Yankees at the Texas Rangers. New York has Michael Pineda. Texas, Giovanni Gallardo. New York minus 145 with an under-over of 9. New York coming off their loss yesterday. Probably may bounce back here. But Pineda, you don't know which one you're going to get. And I got to be honest with you. I remember Pineda getting smashed by the Texas Rangers in Yankee Stadium. So a couple more games here. We got LA Angels at the Houston Astros. Houston Astros have beat them a couple times now, man. And Houston's putting Scotty Kazmir on the mound, and they're minus 160 versus Schumacher for the LA Angels with an under-over of 8. Scotty Kazmir had a hell of an outing last time, man, so they'll probably get the job done. But betting against the Angels is tough for me to handle. Tough pill for me to swallow. So, rely on your experts for these games. Seattle at Minnesota. Seattle J.A. Happ, Minnesota, Philip Hughes. Minnesota minus 140 with an under-over of 9. I'm really feeling Minnesota in this matchup. I think they get the job done. I think Seattle stinks. I got to be honest with you. Even with King Felix on the mound, they couldn't get it done yesterday, man. Minnesota's probably on my radar to take today. I'm looking at them. They are 1-4 straight up in their last 5 games, but I think they're, 5-1 in the last 6 when playing Seattle. Yeah, that's what I thought. Seems like they own Seattle a little bit, guys. So looking at Minnesota at home, their record is pretty badass as well. So I'm probably going to end up jumping on Minnesota. I don't know that for sure, but that's something I'm taking a look at. You got the Cubs coming into Milwaukee. The Cubs have Jake Arrieta on the mound. Milwaukee has Jimmy Nelson. Chicago minus 142 with an under-over of 7. I got news for you. I don't think this Cubs team has any business whatsoever being favored on the road. I don't care who they're playing. And let's just take a look at it because this is an interdivision game. So let me just take a look at what you got here. Arrieta is 11-6 with a 2.61 ERA for the Cubs. Jimmy Nelson is 8-9 with a 4.12 ERA. The Cubs 7-3 in their last 10 on the road, surprisingly. Let me see. But they are 8-17 in the last 25 games when playing in the Milwaukee Brewers' house. Wow. Taking a look at that, man. Hey, Milwaukee might be the play here as an underdog. I got to be honest with you because this Cubs team, I think they stink too. I'll be honest with you. Took a shot with him yesterday. Was able to do it in a parlay, but I don't know about that. Final game we have is Cleveland at Oakland. Tale of 2 nasty teams, I got to be honest with you. Cleveland, Carlos Carrasco. Oakland, Chris Bassett. Cleveland minus 140 with an under-over of 7. Cleveland coming off the big win yesterday versus Kansas City, 12-1 victory. I have no opinion on that game whatsoever, guys. So just looking at a glimpse of this card, I'm feeling Minnesota. I think I got till 8-10 to make that decision. And I'm looking at my boy Chris Sale minus 1 run versus the Boston Red Sox. I think if I do that, I'll get it down to even money or maybe like a minus 110 or something like that. And those will be my plays of the day if I decide to do them. I got till tonight to make that decision. I'll go by the pool here in sunny Florida and kind of gather my brain and put that whole thing together, guys. So that's pretty much it, man. That does it for the show. As I said, man, I apologize for the Dream not being able to be on while our guest was on. For some reason, we had a little technical difficulties on that point, but next time what we'll do is we'll test it pre-game before that happens. So we will go from there, guys. So let me just get my little outro music here, and we'll get it popping. So just give me a minute. Let's see. And that's pretty much it, man. So, guys, I want to thank you very much, man, for supporting us every single day, 7 days a week. We are here flying high. Let's say, Marlon's telling me, break down the good games and leave the dusty games alone. You know what, brother? Yeah, man, I just basically just went through and just picked the ones that I liked. So, we'll go from there, Marlon. But you and I will go back and forth, man. Maybe we can find some value here on the card. But a lot of dusty games. I agree with you on that. I agree with you 100%. So big ups to Vin Vegas for calling in. Looking forward to his NFL all year long, guys. He's a hell of a guy, man. So really knows his stuff, knows these players in and out. So make sure you give him a follow. And big ups to the hashtag SBTVNation for retweeting our show, guys. We appreciate it. We love you to death, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Go enjoy your day. We love you to death. Go out there. Go easy. Do your own homework. Bet your own plays. Make all your dreams a reality and get that money. Let's go.